We're very lucky today to be joined by Jo, a primary school teacher from here in Australia and a specialist in makerspace and digital and design technologies, to inspire us with how she uses Canva in her classroom. And she'll be showing you how you can create amazing resources for your classroom in Canva quickly and easily. We're also joined today by Liz from the education team.
Hey guys.
And Alex from the Canva Creators team.
Hey everyone.
So we'll be hearing from them a little bit more later. But right now, over to you, Jo.
Thank you so much, guys. Hi, I'm Jo, as Jess has just said, and I am a primary school teacher here in Australia, in Queensland. I've been teaching for about 16 years. At the moment, I'm currently teaching prep, which is the equivalent of kindergarten, so your first formal year of schooling. I have also been involved heavily with technology, STEM makerspace, digital design, robotics, all of the new contemporary learning technologies that we have in the schools now. So just getting those up and running within my school. And yeah, so I'm here to show you today how Canva has absolutely revolutionized everything that I've done in the classroom, and how it's in the last year has just completely transformed the way that I teach. So we are going to be talking today about how Canva is used in the classroom. So everything from resources and printables to posters and games. How can we create using Canva? How to use the technology and the software to help us design beautiful resources. I'm also going to be showing you how you can use the software to share with your colleagues. And then we're going to introduce you guys to the Canva Creator program right at the end. So I'm going to flip this over now to Liz.
Thanks, Jo. Hey, everyone. My name is Liz. I'm one of the product managers in the education team at Canva. I'm really excited to be here today to give you a brief overview about what Canva for Education is and what it includes, and to answer any of your questions along the way as well. So the founders of Canva looked at design and discovered that creating good design was complex. First, you needed software. You had to study design, purchase and download stock photos to use, slice up each image and put it all together in a design, and then prepare it for web or print. So the idea for Canva came about to make design simple and integrated, allowing people to collaborate online, get access to professional design tools in one click, a full library of images, and the ability to publish anything to anywhere. So at Canva, we're on a mission to empower the world to design. And in education, we want to empower creativity and collaboration in every classroom. At Canva, we live by our values. They're our shared beliefs of how we work, how we treat each other, and why we're building this company. So we're investing in education, as be a force for good in the world is our most important core value. So we're really committed to keeping education free now and forever. So what's included in Canva for Education? Canva for Education gives you access to Canva Pro, which includes millions of premium images, fonts, videos, and templates. You can also use background remover to remove the background from photos, create presentations, adding your voiceover and video. You can also collaborate with your entire class in a dedicated classroom space, and we'll show you how to get that set up shortly, where you can invite your students and share and view work together. You can also assign work for students to complete individually or in groups, and also mark their work in Canva or use Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom. We've also partnered with some other popular classroom tools, like you can see on the slide there. So we've got key integrations with LMS such as Canvas and Schoology, Google Classroom and Teams, and also some other popular edtech tools such as ClassDojo and ThingLink. So if you haven't already got an account, you can head on to this link, canva.com/edu sign up to get a Canva for Education account. Like I mentioned before, it's 100% free to sign up, and there's no limit on how many teachers or students you can invite from your school to join, and there's no hidden charges. So I would suggest using your school email domain to sign up, or if you already have a Canva account login, just head to -edu sign up to upgrade your account. So if you've got any questions so far, pop them in the chat. I'll hand it over to Jo. who will share us some really exciting ways she's using Canva in the classroom.
Thank you. All right, so guys, I was introduced to Canva for Education last year when I was on maternity leave, so I had a lot of time to sit and play with it. And, you know, a lot of inspiration came to me. I kind of just wanted to get straight back into the classroom. Since being back into the classroom this year, the educator and the student benefits have really just blown my mind. I really feel like a beginning teacher now, not somebody that's been doing this for 16 years. I moved from a grade 3 classroom before maternity leave and joined the kindergarten room, and I basically just threw everything out and I started again. My laminator had a really good workout in the summer holidays. So what I love about this is the access to the free templates. So there's no more hopping on to teacher websites where you have to pay per download. You've got everything there at your fingertips. You can search for what you want. You can download what you want. You can edit it to suit your classroom. I also like being able to hop on and be able to create something that's personalized for my classroom or has my students' names or, you know, things that they're interested in there. I can search for that sort of content and make it really applicable and meaningful for them. I really love that you can use this as an online teaching tool as well for my students. I haven't been able to get them on because they're only 5, but just being able to see that there is that capability for you to invite your older students on, and you can do collaborative learning with them as well, especially in this era where we're doing a lot of online learning or learning from home. So I've just found that there's so many different benefits for this that it's really just blown my mind as to how Canva, which has gone from a design, you know, primarily a design software, to something that's now so accessible for teachers, has really just revolutionized my classroom. In terms of the student benefits, you're creating content or providing them content that is really in line with their needs. You can differentiate content for them, but also you can design, especially with a kindergarten classroom that I have currently, it's, you know, it's this rainbow room. My students say to, you know, they want to invite their parents in all the time. It's bright, it's colorful, it's purposeful. They take such pride in knowing that they've created all that, the content that's on the walls has been created specifically for them. So there's a lot of pride in that for them, for my students as well. Within the Canva for Education software, you have access to resources, an abundance of resources. I'm discovering more things that you can create every day, more things that you can download. We've got everything from worksheets, which you can edit for your students, or just simply hit download and use straight away. You've got posters, you've got planner schedules, presentations, which are your sort of like your, you know, your slideshows, flashcards, game boards, digital stickers if you're doing some online learning, your infographics that you can insert into your Google and your desire to learn platforms, mind maps, awards, booklets, interactive activities, Google headers, you name it, it's in there. So, and anything and everything is editable so that it's customized for your classroom. I want to show you then how I've used some of the resources that you can find in Canva in my classroom. So bearing in mind that my children are 5, so it's lots of color and lots of rainbow and lots of unicorns at the moment, but let's have a look to see how I've used it in my classroom. If you have a look up here in this top corner, all I have literally done with my vowel display here is I've printed off some letters. We've turned them into little vowel men. My kids love that. We sing Valbat every day. They love that little reference. These are little labels that I've printed off and stuck onto my sight words cards. So you can use it for organization there as well. As you can see over here, I've got my game tubs as well, and I've labeled each of them using Canva templates. We've got posters, so our little acknowledgement of country down here, and my months of the year and my shapes. So we've got all these posters that you can customize. If you've got a nature theme going on, you can change the bright pinks and the bright purples to your greens and your browns so that you can, it's all in line with your classroom theme. Over here, we've got our number, our maths display, our tens frames. We're doing a sticker countdown at the moment for our 100 days of school. You've got your little editable print pencils over here, which my kids cut out and they write their sentences underneath. More posters, games. We can use this little poster here. I flick it up on my interactive whiteboard and we skip count and we circle, and we use that as an interactive resource there as well. Over here, during literacy groups, my kids are playing memory and snap with some of the resources that you can find on there. This is a lot of hands-on sort of activities here for your number concepts and your tens, frames, addition, subtraction. There's, printables here. So you could use this subtraction shaped pizza as a laminated activity for longevity. My kids were using this as a portfolio activity. They had to cut out the different shapes and create a pizza made out of shapes and then count all the different shapes that they'd used, which was a really good assessment task for my 5-year-olds. Just in the corner here, your friends of 10, your number facts there. Nice, bright, colourful rainbows, really in line with what my little kids really love at the moment. Another flashback over here to our sight words. We've got number lines on here. So I've printed and laminated them for longevity. My kids get their whiteboards out and they can use that for their skip counting. You've got Mother's and Father's Day activities. You've got, you can make your own personalized first day and last day of school. I even cut out some of the elements that we had here in the Canva library and created a little frame for my kids to hold up, and their parents could take photos of them on the first day of school. So the parents really appreciated that as well. There's also a big movement at the moment with your positive affirmations. So we've got these beautiful unicorn sparkle rainbow posters that are at our front door. And every day at the end of the day, we say our positive affirmations as we leave the classroom on our way home in the afternoon. And my kids really love that. And the parents have really taken that on at home as well. I've just used a couple of different elements from the library over here, and we've made little Easter bunny headbands because, it was locked down right at the end of beginning of school holidays last Easter. And, we had only 5 or 6 kids come to school. So we all had these headbands that we could use and had a very small online Easter hat parade. So yeah, so it's just such a diverse range of things that you can find in the library. Over here, you've got little flashcards that you guys can use. So when you're setting up your literacy or your numeracy rotations, you've got everything ready to go. You just pick it up, pop it down, and all your resources are ready for the kids. Super Sleuth is a little bit like your Boggle game. Got the same thing, same concept down here. The kids have to make spelling words, spell as many words as you can out of all of the letters that you have here. Down the bottom here, you've got your word family robots. So I printed them on A3. We brainstormed all of our at words, our in words. We wrote them down. We popped them on the wall for reference. So the kids really liked knowing, oh, there's my dad's name, Ben, in your N words over here. So, they really enjoyed having something that we'd worked together on then being displayed in the classroom. Over in the corner here, you've got resources from prep to through to year 12 on curriculum aligned content. So over here, you've got your Andy Warhol pop art artist study activity. My kids did this in the last week of last term and they really, really enjoyed it. It was nice, bright, colourful. Parents loved coming in and having a look at that. So as for resources that you can then download from within the Canva library, I've just collected a few different resources here from different Canva creators, and we're going to talk about the Canva Creator program coming up in a little while. But later on, if you like any of these resources that you see, I've just linked their name down the bottom. So a little bit later on, you'll be able to click on their profile and go and search. If you like what you see, you can download that for free. You've got everything from English worksheets, mathematics. This is more of a high school mathematics. This is more of a lower junior school English thing. You've got handwriting. So you've got your dotted fonts that the kids can then trace to practice their handwriting. You've got tables and graphs. There is an entire graph capability where you can make pie graphs, bar graphs, charts where you enter the data and it will create the bar graph for you. You've got digital stickers. You can print these as a PNG file and then you can stick them, so you've got your actual sticker printed off on stickers for your classroom as well. There's an abundance of resources in terms of certificates and awards for students. You can modify and edit so that you can add the child's name there, or you can get rid of the word that says add name and you can write it in later on. So many capabilities. You've got online interactive presentations that you can shoot up on your interactive whiteboard and you can then use as a teaching tool in the classroom there. Print these off as posters and laminate them for longevity as well in your classroom. We've got flashcards, bright, colourful, everything from your lower junior school years literacy, alphabet recognition to your upper high school mathematics flashcards there as well. Posters for your classroom, we've got alphabet, you've got vocabulary, you've got over here we've got our brain breaks, because we know that that physical movement is so important. There's times tables, there's your first day of school posters. You know, I know that USA is currently on holidays, but when the kids go back to school, your first day with the kids, you can get them to complete this and pop it on the wall, and then you can do a last day of school and see what's changed. It's really exciting for the parents to be able to see the growth within the year. We also have a lot of psychology resources as well that are quite popular here for speech therapists and psychologists, and those working in behaviour therapy as well. So there's a lot of resources on there, and I'll specifically point out that Canva Creators profile at the end for those people that are interested in that. If you have a specific theme, you can, we've got name tags, desk labels, bag locker labels, you've got number labels, you've got months of the year, everything in sort of different themes as well. I'll show you how to access your classroom kits in a little while. Presentations. So your presentation is your slideshow, and these are 100% editable. So in this particular social and emotional learning presentation here, this is, it doesn't even have to be social and emotional learning. You can get rid of the content in there and add your own if you really enjoy this pastel presentation here. Over here, we've got like a conversation starter, which is a really nice pastoral care activity that you can do with your kids once a week, just to get to know them a little bit better. There's 50 different discussions there that you can have a little circle time with your kids and get to know them a little bit better, and have them get to know each other a bit better. You've got game boards, so you know, chuck some counters on there and you're ready to go. Infographics for you to insert into your other online learning platforms that you might have within your school. Google headers for your Google Classroom. Booklets to print off. We've got, you know, in these two particular ones here, we've got the fractured fairy tales and we've got STEM journals, you know, and stuff is being added to the library every single day. So I want to show you, I'm going to get out of this presentation now, and I'm going to show you how we can actually search for some of those templates and how we can find some of the templates that have been added by our favorite Canva creators. So I'm just going to exit that. When you guys log onto your Canva profile, it'll take you to your homepage, which looks like this. And you have here, this is your homepage. In a little while, we'll show you how to get onto a classroom. So your own classroom will be found down the bottom here. If you scroll down through here, you'll be able to see all your most recent designs underneath this heading here. But then you'll also see relevant educational content categorized underneath these little subheadings. There's also another way that you can access this. So if you head up the top here to where it says templates, and you're more than welcome to hop on and have a little play here while I'm talking. If you click on templates here, it will take you to this templates page. And you'll be able to then see right here, it says from creators that you follow. So in a little while, we'll show you how you can follow some educational creators, and then you'll be able to access their content from here. It's a nice little carousel that updates weekly, and you'll be able to see new stuff that they've popped up. But you can also then browse all of your content that's subject specific down here. This one here is really exciting for those people that are currently on holidays or are starting a new grade or want to revamp their classroom for next year. You've got all these different classroom kits that you can click on. So if you've got the lower years, you've got Care Bear themes here that's going on. You've got rainbow, you've got polka dot, you've got nature. There's so many different kits that you can use. Here's a space theme so you've got everything here that you might need all ready to go so that your classroom's decorated in a very uniform and colourful classroom. You've got your alphabet bunting here. You're getting to know your introduction to the teacher. You can use this template here as a as a welcome to the class letter. So there's just so many different ways that you can use these resources. I just love these themes because it makes your classroom look really uniform. Yeah, so you can also then use, if you're looking for something specific, you can use the search bar up the top. and you can type in. You'll need to be quite specific because having access to Canva for education, you are very lucky in that you also get access to the entire Canva library. So you'll have access to wedding invitations and birthday party invitations and save the dates and all of that. So you'll need to make sure that you type in something like mathematics worksheet or a reading flashcards or something like that. So make it really specific when you are typing that into the search engine. Right, so we'll head back to our presentation. When you want to create within Canva, there are many ways to do so. There are many templates and different ways that you can do it. I've just created a poster here. So I've created a video, which I'm going to talk throughout the video for you. Hop on if you want to have a go and just listen to my voice or have the little picture up in the corner of your screen. You can have a little play whilst I'm doing this. I'm going to talk through it slowly, but we are going to have an opportunity in a little while to create our own poster. So I just want to show you sort of, if you're a complete Canva beginner here, you'll be able to sort of see how we start the process all the way through to completion. So if we press play here, you're going to head up to your created design up the top here, and you get to choose what kind of template it is that you want, because it will resize. If you're going to make flashcards, it's going to be on landscape. If you're going to create a poster, it's going to be on a much bigger size so that when you print, it's not pixelated and it's really good quality. If you're going to create a landscape or a portrait poster, a worksheet, you can select which one you want there as well. So it's really important that you determine which kind of template it is that you're going to be creating so that it's sized to the right size. So if I'm going to be making an Earth Day poster here, I'm going to click poster. I'm going to keep it in portrait mode. And you'll then be taken to your design sheet. So if you have a look down the side here, there's an option here for you to look at the pre-made templates. You can always use a template there that's already been created by a Canva Creator or by Canva themselves, and then you can just edit it. But if you're going to start from scratch, you're going to have this nice blank white page here, and you're going to be able to add all the content that you want. You see this word elements down here. This is the Canva's word for clip art, and you have millions of different things that you can choose from there. It can become quite overwhelming. So if you want something specific, if you've got a rainbow theme or if you want bright, bold colors, make sure that you include that in your search. Uploads here is where you can add your own content. So if you're adding images or student pictures or something from another program, you're able to upload your own photos there. Canva also has its own library of photos as well. So you're able to insert images, photos, real life pictorial pictures from Canva as well. You've got your text, you've got your background colors, and if you're unable to see any of those because you're a beginner, you hit more and you'll be able to find all of those tools in there. But the more you use them, your favorites will pop up down the side here. So we're going to make a little Earth Day poster here, and I just typed in sun rays, and all of these options popped up. And I've just clicked on one of the selections there, and I'm going to resize it to make it fit the page. It's really a good idea. If you can see here, I'll just pause. You see this little line around the outside here within your picture? You're able to go to file and show your margins so that you can sort of keep everything aligned really nicely. So I just straighten this up in the middle. It's got these nice little guidelines for alignment. I type in Earth into elements and I select one of these Earth images, and I can drag from the corners to make them nice and big. And then I can center it to make sure it's right in the middle of my poster. And I want to make him nice and fun for my little kids, so I'm going to put a funny face on him. If you go to graphics, it'll show you more of your clip art. And you can just shove that right in the middle. And then I want to add some text. So there's a couple of different functions here for text, which is going to be really exciting. You have the ability to curve text, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. You've got a whole bunch of preloaded fonts up here, but you are also able to add your own. And this is your uppercase feature right here to make everything uppercase. And here's how you curve. I know that went really fast. If you go to effects, you have the option to make your writing bubble writing, drop shadows, outlines, but also you have this option down here to curve your text. So it'll give you this little guideline here, and you just scroll up and down here until it suits the shape of your earth right here. Another really good feature that we have here is I'm going to make a rectangle to put the date in, and just so that I can see it nice and clearly over the top of my sun rays, I put my little rectangle here, and I can also make that transparent so I can still see the rays underneath there. So if we have our little rectangle here, we go over to this little transparency box here, and I can change how transparent that rectangle is. I can do that for any shape or any element that I put on my poster as well. So see how we can now subtly see those rays coming through. I can add some more text to there. Oh, we're living in the past here. Here's how I change my size. And there we go. I can download this so that I can save it. If you head up the top here, we'll go through this a little bit slower in a moment. If you go to download here, you have your options to download in the specific format that you want. And there we go. It's popping up and it'll go to your downloads folder. So there we go. All right, let's go to the next. The other fun part of using this with your students, and we'll show you how to set up a class in a moment, is that you can all you can have your children, your students in your Canva account, and you can all be collaborating within the same space at the same time. So you can then be guiding the kids. If you're all working from home, you're able to work together virtually online, which is really exciting. You can also be doing the exact same thing within the classroom. Everyone can be logged in at the same time and working on the same piece or working on their own page within the same presentation, which is really, really exciting for kids to be able to see what everybody else is doing. All right, here's how we set up our class space and invite our students. I'm going to pop over to Liz for this one.
Thanks, Jo. Thanks for sharing with us all those different ways you're using Canva in the classroom. I hope people are inspired by all of those beautiful designs you've created. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up your class space and also invite all of your students so you can start creating like Jo has. So once you're in the Canva for Education account, what you'll see on the left-hand side is a little graduation hat, which is the first green arrow that's pointing there that says Year 4 Purple. So if you click on that, you'll get a classroom banner that currently says Year 4 Purple, but you can rename that to whatever you like. And you can also put special banner image. So we've chosen like a space theme one there, but feel free to customize that to what you like or what your students like. So now that you've got your class space set up, it's time to invite your students. So again, on that same page, there was a little button that said people. So if you click on that, you'll get this page where you can invite all of your students and fellow teachers into the same space as you. So you've got a couple of options here. For those using Google Classroom, you can import your contacts directly from Google Classroom via that import button. Another option is to share an invite link. So if you click on that green button to generate the invite link, it's going to give you a link where you can just copy and paste and share that with your students. And you can also manually invite students if you like to pop in their email addresses. We also have some new functionality coming up soon where you as a teacher can share like a simple join code to your students, and they can then take that code, enter it in, and very quickly join your class. So that's great for obviously our primary school students who have a little bit of trouble navigating email address. So now that you've invited your students are going to get an email that they have to hit join the class. And this is then going to take them to the next slide where they just sign up and sign in. And there's a couple of sign in options here. So if anyone's using Clever, Google, you can use some of those authentication options to get in. And now back over to you, Jo.
Thanks, Liz. All right. So once you've established or created a class within your Canva profile, you can create your own one with your team as well. So you can do exactly the same process that you would with the students, but you can set the permissions to teacher, which gives them a lot more control over the content and over what gets saved. Once you find a template that you want to share with your team, it's really easy to hit download and put it on your drive, but then it's not editable because it'll have been saved as an image or as a PDF, and you can't go in and edit that or modify it to suit your specific classroom. So there are ways for you to create a folder exactly how you would do it for your students, but do it with your team. And you can then save something that you've edited or you found that you want to share with your team members into that folder so that they have access to it. They can make a copy of it and then they can modify it for their students. So when you have found a template or you've made a template that you really like that you want to share with them, you head up to the file bar right up the top here and you head down and it'll say save to a folder. And you are then able to save it once I've made a bunch of different folders here for my staff, but you will be able to then create all your folders and save it to your specific folder. There is another way of saving it. You can also share it using links. So if we head back, once you're in the template that you want, you can go to share, which is up the top here. And then you can just enter the email address of the person that you want to send it to specifically. So potentially they're not a part of your team, but you want them to have access to it. If you want them to be able to edit it, you will be able to give them permissions to edit. But if you just want them to be able to view it and not make changes to it, because if they make changes to it, that's going to change your original one, then you can just share the link for them to be able to view it and download it. If you want to print, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You are able to download using this little download button up the top here. But then you have multiple options for how you would like to save it. So you can save it as PNG, so it's got no background, as a JPEG, as a PDF, but you can also download it and save it as a publisher document, so it is editable later on. But if you then, you'll be able to print through your school printer then, but if you want to be able to print high quality or high resolution with, on card or something thicker, you have the options to be able to print through Canva. And we know that teachers already spend enough money out of their own pocket. So Jess has very kindly provided all those people who are here online today with us, she'll be providing you with a code, a print code voucher to be able to print some stuff. Just a little present for you for being here today. And so just to make it a little bit cheaper for you if you want to print something for your classroom for next term. Over here, I'm just going to send it back to Liz and she's going to show you how that you can use it within your different online school class platforms. Thank you.
Thanks, Jo. So if you've got a design that you want to share with your students or your fellow teachers, we've also got some options to publish that to our popular integration. So what this is showing here is if you go within your design, there should be the 3 dots option that we've mentioned earlier. And there should be an option to publish to Google Classroom. The video is just running a little bit ahead of me, but there'll be a little Google Classroom icon where you can click on that, click which class you want to share to, choose how you want to share it. So we've got, like, you'll see in a second, assignments, material, question or announcement. And just simply, there we go, that's clicking the class, choosing how you want to share it. Pop in a message to your students and hit post, and that should then share to your Google Classroom class. So on the next slide, similarly, it's the same process, but this is with Microsoft Teams. So again, you click the 3 dots. You'll be able to choose what channel you want to share to in Microsoft Teams, fill in a couple of details, and hit post. That's it.
All right, so we are going to have a little 5-minute challenge for everybody that's here today. If you would like to open up your Canva for Education account, and I'm going to walk through how to make a poster with you. The little challenge today is to create an All About Me poster. I'm going to show you a couple of things along the way, but this is just an opportunity for you to have a little play with the software and just get a little bit of your creative on. So I'm going to pop out of this presentation here and we're going to head over to our Canva for Education account. I'll give everybody a minute to sign in if they're not already on. It's quite important. I made the mistake a couple of times when I first started. I would log in through canva.com, but it's really important that you use the Canva for Education sign-on to make sure that you're accessing everything, so that you've got access to the classroom content as well. If you then, once you're logged on, we're going to head right up to the top here to create a design. Now I've decided I'm going to make a poster in landscape mode. So I'm going to type in poster, and it will even say your two options here. Poster, this is your generic portrait mode, but I'm going to go to poster landscape, and it's going to take me to my design page. All right, so we're going to make an all about me poster. I'm all about a bit of abstract at the moment. So I'm going to create a poster. I think I might make a black and white poster here. If you have a look up the top, it'll say untitled. I'm going to call it all about me poster. And you guys are more than welcome to just get creative. I'll talk through this, because if there's something piques your interest, you'll be able to hop on and have a look to see what I'm doing, but just take this time to create your own. I'm going to have a white background, but I'm going to have a nice black rectangle. So I'm going to type rectangle into my elements. You've got a whole bunch of different rectangle options here. I'm just going to make a generic one. I can change the color over here in my color palette. Pop that in the corner, and I can use these little toggle things down the bottom to resize. I'm just working very slowly here, guys, because some people here would be total pros and some people here would be beginners. So we'll just walk through it slowly. Now, you've got so many different options here. I might make it a heart, love heart theme. And let's type in hearts background, see what we've got. There is so many different options here. You can become overwhelmed. You can siphon the search here through, you can just look at photos, or you can just look at your clip art graphics. So I'm just going to click on this one, but I don't want black on black. So I'm going to change my hearts to white. So we go up to our little color palette up the top here, and I can change that to white. And I'm going to make that sit over the top of my black. So I've got nice contrast going on. All right, so that's going to be sort of my background. I'll just move everything over a little bit so I've got room to write. I'm going to add some text now. So I head over here to where it says text. And you've got a bunch of font pairings here that's really exciting. So you can sort of see different fonts that go together really well. But I'm just going to add my own. And I'm going to drag that up the top here. And I'm going to type in all about. Make it nice and centered in the middle there. I'm going to change this. There's so many different fonts. You tend to end up finding the ones that you really like. I like Hallam. This one's a nice one. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so that it all fits on one line. So I can head up here to where I've got my font box and make it a little bit smaller. Might make it 100. That might fit. There we go. And then I'm going to write all about me. I'm going to add me in a different font. So we'll bring this one over here. And I'm going to write me. I want it to be all uppercase. So I can type it uppercase, or I can just hit my uppercase feature here. Now, if I want to align those words, I can highlight both of them at the same time. And I've got my little alignment box over here. So I can just click on that. You've got all the different functions that you would have in any of your Microsoft Office suite. I can bring that over here. You've got your little guidelines, your little alignment lines that'll pop up if you can see that little red line down the side. To make this a bit bigger, I can drag from the corner. All right, now this is the fun bit. I'm going to show you how you can add your own photo. If you go to Elements, which is again your clip art, and you go, I'm just going to remove my previous search from there. You actually have a whole bunch of options down the side here. Anything that you've recently used will pop up at the top. You've got access to all your lines and shapes, which is a lot of, you know, the clip art that a lot of people will use. But you keep heading down and you've got this thing called frames and grids. And I'm going to make a circular one. And this is like a frame where you can insert an image. So I'm not going to upload a photo of myself today, but I'm just going to use one of the photos that's already in the library. If we head to photos and I type in teacher, you would upload a picture of yourself if it's for you. And I'm just going to find a nice picture of a teacher. There she is. I can move her. I just pick it up and I can drop her straight into that frame. It looks so much neater, so much nicer than just having a random photo floating around, doesn't it? And I can then resize her and I'm going to stick her over here, just like that. Now, if I then want to include space for me to write some facts about myself, I can put lines down. I'm going to show you my absolute most favorite feature in Canva. It was a game changer. I used to sit here forever trying to evenly space all my lines, and I'm going to show you a really quick way to do it. So if I go to my lines and shapes, I can see all the different options. I'm going to go with a solid line that I can resize. Resize that line, and I can also change how heavy that line is by clicking up the top here. I've got all my line weights. I can make it smaller or bigger, thicker, just like that. Now this is my favorite bit. If I want to have 4 or 5 lines to write on, I can copy that several times. And what I need to do is I need to know where my top line needs to be. And I also can I can move the bottom line down to where I want it to be. And this is game changing. So I highlight those lines that I want and I go up to the top here where it says position and I can tidy it up. How good's that? I love that feature. So I can, now I've got my lines here for me to write on. I'm going to add another little text box here that says fun facts. I want to make sure that my fonts are similar. There we go. Now I've got all this space over here. So what I might do is add a little box that has my important details about me. So if I want a little square box, I'm going to head back up to my elements and I'm going to type in, I can do rectangle or square. If I head to graphics, it'll get rid of all of my photos, and then I've got more things that I can work with. These ones are really, I love these particular squares here because you can change both the color of the border and the inside of the square. I want to have a black outside and a white inside. So I just go in here and I've got to click which part of the box it is that I want to change the color for. And I can resize that, pop it over here, and I can add more text inside there as well. So add more text. Name. Just going to copy that over a couple of times and change the text that's in there. Again, I can use my tidy up feature so that these are positioned really neatly. Go back up to position and click tidy up, and it's made it nice and neat for me. So I want my name and age and job title. To make that look nice and neat, I'll just align it to the same side. There we go. And I have my All About Me poster ready to download. So if I want to download that so that I can print it off, I hit download. You then select which kind of format you would like to have it downloaded in. So if you want it as PDF print, that'll come out higher quality. It'll save it as a larger file. Your standard one, if you're going to insert it into, say, a newsletter or something, you would use the lower quality so that your file isn't too large when you're emailing it. You can also save it as a JPEG or a PNG. So there's lots of different ways that you can save that. And then you can hit print. If you want to print that through Canva, you would hit those 3 dots up the top here. And you've got all the different options for how you may want to print that. If you want to make it a little business card, they'll print it business card size. If you wanted it to be a poster on canvas, t-shirt, mugs, key rings, you've got all the different ways that you might like to use that, that printing option there down the side there through Canva itself. All right. So we'll head back to our presentation. I might give everybody just another minute to just finish off what they're doing. What I really like about this is that I don't have to hit Control-S. I don't have to save it all the way through. It automatically does it for you. And if you decide, oh, I've been playing around with this, but I really liked my original version a bit better, if you head back up to File, you've got version history down the side here, and you'll be able to go and it'll show you all the different times that it's auto-saved. So if you create something, come back and modify it a little bit later on, you'll be able to see all the different versions that you've made of that. This is relatively new, so it's only the one version, but if I change it a few different times, I'll have that option to go back. All right. So hopefully everyone had a nice little play there and was able to learn a couple more of the different features of the software. We'll head back into the presentation. All right, I'm going to head on over to Alex now, and she's going to tell us all about the Canva Creator program. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Jo. That was awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm from the Canva Creators team. I help the onboarding of all of our new creators, making sure that they feel welcomed and setting them up for success. So the Canva Creator program, it's a fairly new product for us. It's our marketplace where we invite designers and educators to share their templates to their own Canva storefront and to our libraries to earn royalties for themselves. So our mission for educators is very similar to the Canva for Education mission in that we want to empower creativity and collaboration in every classroom. And we'll do it by creating an education marketplace for teachers and students to find creative resources for every subject, at every grade, for every classroom need. So you'll notice that Jo mentioned the follow button. And on top of that, her Canva homepage was curated with a bunch of different creators. So we now have the feature for you to be able to follow your favorite teacher creators to keep up to date with their latest templates and trust that the educational content you're getting is from our very own teachers. So to find your favorite creator profile, you'll notice that when you're looking at the template library, you'll be able to see all of the templates as is featured on the left. But if you hover over their screen, you'll notice these 3 buttons at the top. So if you click that and then you click on to preview this template, it will pop up the next slide. Yeah, so it'll pop up a page like this. So in the case where a template is created by one of our creators, it will say by whoever it was, and you can click on that profile link to access their profile page. I just want to mention at this point, if there is a template that's not created by a creator, but just by our designers, you'll notice that the author is missing. So just to keep that in mind. So I'll give you a highlight reel of some of our very best. This is actually Jo's profile, so I highly recommend you go and have a look. She has fantastic content. I find myself just scrolling through, kind of wanting to print out a worksheet for myself, but it probably doesn't do much for me now. The next, I believe, is Bronwyn. So Jo mentioned Bronwyn earlier. This is all of your kind of speech therapy, psychology-based work. Fantastic sheets in here as well. We have Rory. Rory specializes in algebra. To be honest with you, I couldn't fill one of these worksheets out. So thankfully we have Rory, and she's fantastic as well. We have Tanya. Tanya has really wonderful classroom headers as well as her posters. She's got a really fantastic eye for design. And again, you can follow all of your creators just along the side to the left. This is Diana. As you can see, these worksheets speak for themselves. They're fantastic, so highly recommend having a look. We also have Lenedra. She represents the Teaching Queen Collective. So she has a side business that she has, I think, multiple storefronts. One of them is Canva. And again, these worksheets are fantastic. Also want to shout out here that most of the creators represent different countries. So you'll notice slight tweaks in where the curriculum kind of sits in this context as well. Linda, the librarian, has really wonderful posters and classroom kits type content. And we have passionate about primary as well. And as you can see, primary focus with a lot of colorful and really wonderful to look at templates. So I've linked some of the profiles we just mentioned here into this sheet. You'll, at the end of this session, be given a streamlined version of this presentation so that you can click in yourself. But you'll also notice that Jess has so kindly put the links into the chat too. You just pop along. So if you'd like to apply to be a teacher creator yourself, we are accepting expressions of interest at the moment. If you head to www.canva.com/creators, you'll find a sign up sheet where we can put you into the expression of interest queue. Thank you so much. Handing it back to Liz.
Wonderful. So now we're going to share with you some useful resources you guys can take away, along with all the inspiration that you've already gotten from Joe today. We've prepared an onboarding guide for you, which will tell you everything about what we learned today, including setting up your class, inviting students, which platforms we're integrated with, and how you can collaborate with your students. We've also got some video tutorials. If you head over to that link, they're just short little snappy videos. You can learn about particular topics about Canva for Education.
And I'll jump in here and talk about Design School. So if you want to learn more Canva tips and tricks, or there are particular skills you want to target, Design School is definitely the place to go. So that's designschool.canva.com. And we've got courses there, we've got online tutorials, loads and loads of things to check out there, and it's growing every day, literally. So check out Design School. And then we have a community for you to join. So our Facebook communities are really amazing, wonderful, supportive places. So this is the one specifically for teachers, facebook.com/groups/Canva Teachers Community. And there is a large community of teachers on there who share resources they've made, ask questions about the education product. It's a place where you can hear about features getting rolled out. Liz, I believe there is a webinar by George Lee, is that right? He's streaming his webinars on there as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're weekly webinars, so definitely head on there and check them out.
Yeah, so teacher goodness every single week coming to you through the teachers community on Facebook. And then, of course, there's Canva Space. So I'm just going to pop that link in the chat for you. So Canva Space is your home of live interactive webinars. And there, as I said at the beginning of the session, there's the link in the chat for you. There are webinars every single week and education-focused webinar at least once a month. So definitely hop on there and check out and book into any of interest. And then for more tips and tricks, this is a broader community, not just for teachers, but just for Canva lovers in general, the Canva Design Circle. So facebook.com/groups/Canva Design Circle is the place to go if you want to get more tips and tricks from the wider community. A lot of people there share their designs to get feedback. They share what they've created on mobile. What I see created on there is really inspiring. I'm always impressed with the people's standard and creativity and ingenuity with what they create in Canva. So some impressive stuff in there with over 130,000 members now. So definitely one to join for free. And that takes us to Q&A. We've got a few minutes left here at the end of the session. So quite a few questions have been coming through. We've been answering those in the chat and the Q&A panel. But if you have any specific questions for anyone who joined us today, for Alex or Liz or Joe, please hop into the Q&A panel right now and let us know. But I would like to extend a huge thank you to you, Joe. What an amazing workshop that was. And I was inspired. I wanted, like you, Alex, I was like, I wish I could make use of some of this content myself. Maybe I'll just go and decorate my room with some of these things. It was absolutely fantastic. And you've definitely left me inspired, and I'm sure a lot of teachers on the call too. So thank you for your involvement today. And thank you to Liz and Alex for jumping in and telling us about your programs and products as well. No more questions coming through? And I think that does wrap us up for today. So thank you again. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Alex. I hope you all found that a really useful workshop. I certainly did. And we look forward to seeing you at another Canva Space webinar very soon. Thank you very much.